Okay guys, welcome back. What do you get when you've got Dennis Hopper in a biker movie without Peter Fonda? What do you get? You get 1967's biker epic, The Glory Stompers. Alright guys, welcome back. This is a new segment. I'm not going to do this every time on T-Bone Southern Ride, but as you see, I'm going to call this T-Bone's Ride and Review. And I got a good day that just came out of nowhere, 60 degrees, 63. So I thought, you know what, today would be a good day to talk about a movie that I mentioned way back when I talked to you guys about the movie Easy Rider. I had mentioned the movie Glory Stompers, and I had said that Glory Stompers, in my book, was just as big and just as good as Easy Rider. Now, some people may disagree with that, and certainly that is your choice to disagree with that. Remember guys, these are only my opinions. But this movie was made in 1967, and of course it starred Dennis Hopper, and there was a ton of people in this movie for the cast. And I'll give you a quick rundown of the storyline. As you've got a group of bikers called the Glory Stompers, and you've got a group of bikers which is Dennis Hopper's group. Okay, back up just a little bit, guy. But anyway, you got these two groups, and essentially Dennis Hopper and his crew actually disrupt this party for the Glory Stompers that are celebrating a wedding. And of course the leader of the Glory Stompers ends up getting into a light scuffle with Dennis Hopper and his character. And fast forward a little bit in the movie, the guy and his girlfriend that got into it with Dennis Hopper take off, and they end up trying to find a quiet place to take their bike and park. And Hopper and his crew see them and end up giving chase and chase them down, beat up the guy, and essentially kidnap his girlfriend. And they're on their way to Mexico. They're going to sell her. But before they do that, they decide to have a couple of misadventures and a big party, and by the end of the movie everybody's kind of just blown up, and of course that ends up with the death of a couple of big characters. I won't spoil the end for you if you've never saw it. Glory Stompers is it's a cult classic, guys. This really is. This movie can go up there with Easy Riders, Angels Wild as They Come, Angel Unchained. And I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews on these old cult classic biker movies, because I've watched, guys, hours and hours and hours over the years of these biker movies. And of course, if you know of an old movie or even a newer movie, and I'm not going to say that I'm just going to do these old cult classic movies like Easy Rider and Glory Stompers and Angels Wild as They Come. Of course, that focuses on Peter Fonda, Angels Wild as They Come do. But, you know, I'm going to be doing like 1991's movie Stone Cold. Football fans will remember that movie for Brian Bosworth, who was in it. CC and Company, which was another 60s movie, but it had Joe Namath in it. He played a character named CC, and I'll be giving a review on it. I mean, there's just a ton of them old cult classic movies, and a lot of those movies, of course, were derived, like the Wild One, which was really the very first biker movie ever, where you had Marlon Brando's character Johnny, who ended up in trouble in this little town. And the Wild One, of course, everybody who has a little bit of knowledge of motorcycle history knows that the movie The Wild One was based on the incident that happened in Hollister with a group called the Booze Fighters. Of course, if you don't know the history of that, go back and check it out. But once that movie hit and the 60s counterculture came along, you had movies like Angels Wild as They Come, you had Glory Stompers, Angel Unchained. I mean, there was just a bunch of these movies. And that, you know, you got to get past there wasn't big dialogue in these movies. And what I mean by that was you're not going to sit down and see 3, 4, 5 minutes worth of dialogue between two characters. There is 2 to 3 minute dialogues, but you're not going to see long rambling dialogue between any of these characters, because essentially they were about riding their motorcycle, fighting. And you know, this is a real interesting movie to me, because when you look at the character that Dennis Hopper played in Angels Hard as They Come, like I said, it was 1967. Of course, Easy Rider was only made in 1969, so it was only 2 years after the Glory Stompers that Hopper was in Easy Rider with Peter Fonda. But you look at there was just a big difference in his look in the 2-year period. I mean, and if you wanted to ever see, because a lot of people didn't become fans of Dennis Hopper until later on in his career. He did a lot of work with George A. Romero. Of course, he did a lot of his own movies. He directed them, he starred in them. And like I said before, I'm a big Dennis Hopper fan. I haven't never seen anything that has Dennis Hopper in it that I didn't like. And just to let you guys know, Dennis Hopper got his start pretty well much in the Westerns. I was watching The Rifleman one evening, and there he was, just a very young 19, 20-year-old Dennis Hopper was in the TV series The Rifleman. And then he showed up in another TV series that I saw. It was a Western, and I think it was Bat Masterson that he showed up in, where he was playing a descendant of Wyatt Earp. So yeah, I mean, Dennis Hopper's been around, of course, for a long time. But the movie The Glory Stompers, well, as I said, if you can get past the dialogue in that movie, because there's one scene where Dennis Hopper ends up fighting with one of his own club members, and he essentially just backs up, pulls up his fist and says, you know, if any of you other guys want to do it, just turn it on, man, just turn it on. And that's just like it's like, okay, well, you know, they spoke totally different in the 1960s than they do right now. But you got to watch out for the corny dialogue. And, you know, of course, in the 1960s, there was no kind of, I don't even think the words politically correct had been invented yet. But nobody actually was politically correct about anything. They just pretty well much said what was on their mind. Because I'll tell you something, guys, I really like Dennis Hopper's movies. And when it comes to Glory Stompers, and sorry about that, guys, I know it jumped just a little bit, but I had to make a stop. But anyway, getting back to Glory Stompers, what I love about Dennis Hopper just as an actor, of course, he's no longer with us, and rest in peace, Dennis Hopper. I actually miss the guy, miss his movies. I guess the last movie I seen him actually in, I know he probably did more, was a movie called Hell Ride, which I'll do a review on it too. It's kind of one of those Quentin Tarantino style biker movies. Still a good movie though. But what I love about Dennis Hopper is, with Dennis Hopper, just his character. I mean, this guy has made a career and a life out of being a outlaw, and was very unapologetic about it. And he actually, as a actor, in any character that you saw Dennis Hopper in, whether he was playing a biker or whether he was playing a big rich guy like in George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, he played kind of a rich millionaire living at the top of the big building. But the thing I love about Hopper is that there's always that air of danger. There's always that mystique of anything can happen at any time with him. One minute he can be fine, and the next minute he can just go completely off the rails. And you know, that comes from just being who he was. And of course, I've watched a lot of biography pieces on him, and you know, it always comes back to the same thing with Hopper was, you know, he pretty well much did what he wanted to do and made the type of movies that he wanted to make. But you know, yeah, I mean, he just made the movies that he wanted to make, and he did the things that he wanted to do, and very unapologetic about everything. And you know, who's to say that we would do anything any different? But guys, that's just kind of been a short review. I wanted to get some riding content in today while I could. Beautiful day for it. Like I said, I've got a lot of plans once the weather breaks, and spend a little time. I've got motorcycle reviews that I want to do. I'm going to ride some different bikes and kind of give you guys my take on them. I touched base with Barbed Wire the other day and talked to her about riding her Indian, and she was like, cool, yeah, just whenever you're ready, let me know. So there's a lot of stuff going to happen, hopefully, in the next, you know, at least the next couple of months. We got to get into a little bit warmer weather, because right now I've got, you know, I have the T-Bones Tender Moment stuff that I can give you content with in these videos. But there's a lot of moto vloggers out there right now who just have their moto vlog, and you know, wintertime just kind of hurts them, and they try to get out and they try to do ride content, but you know, it's just so cold sometimes that they can't do it. O'Shea Tree Surgeon down there in Florida seems to be him, and Flipnaw, and you know, Shay Lacey, and all those guys down in Florida, the Swamp Wizards as they call themselves. They all seem to just be pretty well much living the dream. If it gets to 55 degrees, they're cold, but you know, they can constantly give motorcycle content, and that's just cool right there, to be able to live in a place where you can do that. And I know we live in the South, and people say, well, gosh, you live in Georgia. Well, yeah, we do, but we don't live in Atlanta or South Georgia. We live in North Georgia, where we actually have seasons. We have winter, summer, fall, and spring, and winter is winter and summer is summer. And you know, sometimes it don't even feel like we have spring and fall. Sometimes it just goes from really cold to really hot, from really hot to really cold, and there ain't much in between. But let me know what you guys think about the riding review. And like I said, I want to review some of these older movies, like Glory Stompers, like I did today. I did Easy Riders. And let me know what you guys think, because I love those old movies. I mean, they're classic movies, and I think we should keep them classic movies and songs and stuff like that alive, because you know, you lose stuff like that, you start losing your culture, you start losing your history. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said earlier, if you've got a certain video that you think I should check out, Harley Davidson, let me know. Drop down in the comments, give me some ideas. And it don't actually have to be a biker movie or television show that I review while I'm riding. And like I said, this is just going to be a segment, you know, T-Bone's Tender Moments and R1 Reviews, the one I put out the other day with me and Regina reviewing things. That was cool. This will essentially just be a segment, and it won't be something that I do every time I ride, because I've got other stuff that I wanted to do as content when I ride. But yeah, I mean, just drop down if you got some ideas. Let me know. I mean, you guys are with me on this thing, and I want to give you, I want to thank you guys for the response that you've been giving me on these videos. I mean, all of them's views are going up. I'm kind of trying to get into a pattern where I'm releasing a video or putting a new video out. I'm going to try to do it on Sundays and Wednesdays. It may be Friday, but I want to try to drop a couple of videos a week. I'm not going to commit to that right now because I'm not sure that I can do that right now. But you know, that's kind of what I've got planned up. I've got some videos that I've already edited and cut together, and they're ready to be uploaded. So I'm trying to keep myself ahead on content where I've always got something to upload, even if the weather's bad. I've got a video. But thank you guys for the response that you've been giving me on these videos. You know, this is something that if you've been with me from the beginning of T-Bone's Tender Moments, you know that this was my goal. And you know, it's still a work in progress, don't get me wrong. And like I said the other day in a video, I hate editing, but I realize it's something that I have to do. It kind of goes along with what I'm doing, and I've got to learn the tricks. I mean, I know there's still a lot that I've got to learn about it. And you know, in the evenings when I get home, if I'm not able to do anything else, and after I get my chores all done, I usually try to sit down and work with my editors, photo editors, video editor, and try to figure out what's what. But there it is, guys. Let me know what you think about T-Bone's Ride and Review, this segment. And if you get a chance, go check these movies out. YouTube actually these movies are on YouTube. Actually, I just watched Glory Stompers on YouTube here a few weeks ago, so I know that it's on YouTube. And I'll try to review the ones that are accessible. Tubi, if you have Tubi, Tubi actually has a lot of biker movies on it. But guys, I hope you got to enjoy this beautiful weather. We're supposed to have a couple of nice days, so maybe we can get things caught up and ready to go for spring. And I'm ready. I'm setting on ready. I'm so excited for spring that I don't even think spring could get here. If it got here tomorrow, it wouldn't be fast enough. But guys, until the next time, this has been T-Bone's Southern Ride. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube page. I'm not begging for subscribers. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. But if you subscribe to my YouTube page, because some content will go straight to YouTube, it won't be on Facebook. But just thank you guys for everything. So till the next time, be cool.